Hi guys, PJ here. Today we are fitting a dashboard camera into a Peugeot 308 2017 model, and we're going to wire this up to the fuse box of the vehicle so the camera goes on and off with the ignition key. Now, if you're going to do this yourself, you're going to need obviously the camera, memory card, etc., and also handily a fitting kit such as one of these. Now, being an X-based camera, we've gone for the X-based fitting kit, but you can get all different sorts of brands from places like Amazon and what have you, eBay, that type of thing. And in these kits, they come with quite a useful fuse spur, which is a little device that lets you plug into an existing fuse socket on the fuse box. We also come with a replacement power cable for the camera, so you don't use the one that comes with it. And also a little filter that you put on the wire for DAB interference suppression. So we'll just unpack this to show you what all the bits and bobs are. So here's what we get in the kit. This is the little fuse spur I was on about. It converts one socket into two. There we go. So you've got a fuse in there which will run your camera, and the gap there will put the fuse that you remove from your fuse box into that one. Little bullet connector on the end there to plug in, and obviously this bit plugs into your fuse box. Here's your power cable that comes in the box. Obviously red being power plus, which plugs into this bullet connector, and earth that you can stick behind such a thing as a dashboard mounting bolt, so it earths the product out. Little filter built in there, and also your standard USB connector there, mini USB that will go into your camera. This is a little ferrous filter, and it's on little click tabs there. Look, see that? You can just click it open, so you open it up, you know, just by popping the little tabs, and basically it will spread open, and then you put your wire through it, round it, and out as an interference suppressor. Handy things to have when you do this job include a plastic leverage device or scraper. This is actually a Peugeot tool as it's called, and these are available from Amazon and eBay and, you know, car accessory shops, etc. And it's basically just a soft malleable plastic end for levering plastic surfaces. Obviously you do not want to be using a screwdriver or a metal scraper, you will damage the dashboard of the vehicle. So plastic scraper, very, very important. Okay. Other thing that I tend to use when fitting these, it's just a personal preference, you may wish to do this or you may not, is get yourself a couple of cable ties, 3 in total, and all that's for is I wrap them around the cable where it goes through the headlining of the vehicle, and then put a bit of electrical tape over them. I'll show you what I mean in a minute, but it stops the cable falling down out the headlining when you hit one of our wonderful potholes that are in the road. You don't hit a pothole and then all of a sudden the cable comes falling down in front of your eyes. It's just to sort of bulk the cable out so it doesn't go anywhere. I'll pop them on the cable and then show you how I do it straight after. Okay, so grab yourself your snips, some electrical tape, and later on you're also going to need a multimeter or one of those little screwdrivers with a bulb in the end to test what circuit is live on the ignition. But for now, get your cable ties. 1, wrap it round. 2, snip the end off. 3, bit of electrical tape around it, like I say, just to pad it out, because some cable ties, when you've snipped them, are razor sharp on the edge here, and eventually it's going to rub into the rear of your headlining, because your headlining is normally only a cardboard or a fabric style covering. You don't want it damaging it. Pop your filter on for your DAB. Like I say, they open up, yeah, and then you can put your cable in, through, round, and out the other side. Once you've done that, basically go to the top of the window screen here. Now, most cars you can sort of get your fingers behind. Now, don't go at this like a bull in a china shop. You don't need to put much pressure, look, it just flexes just enough. If it's stuck to the window screen, because obviously the window screens are bonded in, and if any of the bonding agents got to the headlining, what you need to do is get your plastic leverage tool, yeah, and just sort of ease it all the way along. Don't pull it because it will crease, just ease it all the way along. But once you've got it loose, you can get your cable, like I said, start just tucking it behind so that it sits nicely. And you only want sort of an inch or so, and then the filter sticking out just below the headlining for your camera. Like so. So we've just got a little bit of cable tucked down there ready for the camera mount, yeah, that goes on there. And we've tucked the cable all the way along the edge here until we get to this pillar area here. Sorry if we keep going a little bit foggy on the display here, guys. It's actually -3 degrees, so unfortunately the camera keeps fogging, the lens does. So I'll try and keep it as clear as possible for you. So anyway, we're going to go to this corner, and you're going to need your plastic leverage tool, yeah? And all we're going to do is pop this corner a little bit away, a few millimetres away. Now, bearing in mind you've got sensors and stuff for airbags, so don't jab this miles in, just go on the edge of it, yeah? I'm going to open the door and just get the edge opened. Like so. So we've literally just made a little gap, and then you can go along, tuck your cable in. You're probably going to get your plastic leverage tool and just push it down, just poke it down half an inch or so all the way along there, so it's hidden out the way nice and tidily. This corner can be a bit tight, just push it down with your plastic pry tool. You're looking for a factory finish when you pop it back again. You don't want to see any cable or any gap. So we'll just tidy that up, and there we go, back to your factory finish. We've ran the cable down the edge here. If the top popper does actually pop and this trim comes away slightly, don't worry. All you've got to do is just click it. Just give it a tap and it'll click back in again. So run your cable all the way down until you get to the corner right here. Now the next thing we're going to do is pop off this plastic plate. It's on little spring clips around the edge, and it's got a key in it to turn your passenger airbag off. So it's very important that you don't pull the cable, okay? So basically open your glove box, so you can see the edge. Yeah, see the edge there, the lip. Incidentally, your fuse box is in the glove box, just, it's quite tight, just there, look, buried. If you can see that, guys, down there. Might have to shine a light for you. Anyway, going back to here, get your plastic leverage tool and just sort of pop. You'll hear it pop, the bottom one went first there, all the way around until you can just drop it down, look. Just be attention of this cable here, this airbag cable. Don't be tempted to unplug it, because if you turn your ignition on with it unplugged, you will set the airbag warning light off and need to go to a garage to get it reset, and obviously pay for that. So don't unplug it, just leave it plugged in. It's not doing any harm. You can pop it out of the way a minute. And we're going to use this mounting bolt here for an earth. So we're going to go ahead and take that out. That should be a 13mm bolt. I will just double check that for you. Don't worry, your dashboard won't move anywhere. There is another one here, look. Okay, so we've done our earth. Basically, we removed the 13mm bolt, as I was saying, and popped a little ring terminal on the end there. Basically, put a washer on the bolt, slid the terminal over, tighten the bolt back up again. That is a nice suitable earth, you know, out the way, no one can see that. And like I say, we finished tucking the cable in, running it through here. You've now got your power cable. Now the power cable itself is very, very simple. Obviously you're just going to feed it through the hole here to get to your fuse box. There it is, look. Can you just see that? There, yeah. The problem with these cars, and a lot of Peugeots or Citroens, the fuse box on them is a cluttered mess, bluntly put. You can't hardly get to the fuses. They're sat right back there. Very difficult to see, very difficult to test. In fact, the only car I know worse than this currently is one of the new Range Rover Sports, which is also set back. So you're going to have to persevere to get to your fuses. I'm going to go ahead now and test this particular model's fuses. But bear in mind your own model and spec in the car may differ. So in other words, the fuse box layout may be different. You will have to test your fuses yourself. You are looking for an accessory fuse, nothing to do with ABS or airbags or anything critical. It's got to be an accessory fuse, so bear that in mind when you're looking through your list of fuses, see which one you're going to use. So you want one that goes on and off with the ignition. I'm going to test my fuse yet now. So basically I'm going to do it by touching the top of the fuse. Okay, so we touch the top of the fuse and see if there's power to it, basically when the ignition is on. If when we turn the ignition off, the power goes off, obviously that is a switched fuse and that will do fine. Likewise, if you're using one of the little screwdrivers with a bulb on the end of them, if the light goes off when you turn the ignition off, you've found your correct one. Myself though, be using a good old trusty multimeter there, and we'll be seeing if we can get a voltage readout, you know, that we desire for this car. At this point, I must say to you, I am in no way responsible for any damage to your vehicle or injury to yourself by following this video guide. Please do so at your own risk. If unsure, seek professional help, pay somebody to do the job. They're insured to work on your car. Okay, so let's go and have a look at what fuses we're using, and I'll show you how I do that as we go. Okay guys, so just bear in mind when you're testing fuses on this vehicle, there's a slight delay when you take the key out and move away. The ignition switches off, yes, but the fuse box will stay live for a few minutes. You'll hear an audible click from the fuse box when it goes off. Now we're actually going to use, really hard to show you, right down at the bottom here there's a brown 5 amp fuse. So there's a red 10 amp above it, and right at the bottom is a brown 5 amp. On this particular spec of vehicle, that is an ignition switched accessory circuit and is fine to use. That powers on and off with the ignition. Like I say, it's the very, very bottom one, right down here. It's very hard to show you, but it's the bottom one here that I'm using. So you've got the end column, second column in, bottom one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put our fuse spur on that and give the camera a test. So we've pulled our fuse out with the ignition off and made sure the fuse box is powered down, and we've plugged it into our fuse spur. So there's the brown 5 amp from the fuse box, and there's the original fuse both together. You will now plug the fuse spur back in where the fuse came from. And there we go, fuse spur plugged in. Really hard to see because of the stupid layout that these cars have, but it's just here, look, on the bottom. There's your red wire trailing up to the side there. That's plugged in where the original fuse came from. You can just see the 10 amp peeking above it there. So that's plugged in, ready to go. And before you package all this away and tidy it all up, let's quickly test the camera goes on and off as it should. Okay, so we've stuck our camera on the window screen using the 3M mount. Most decent cameras come with a sucker or a sticky pad mount. If you've got this black area on your window screen and you can feel the bobbles, the paint, yeah, you're going to need to use a sticky pad one because the suction cup won't stick to this bobbly painted effect. If, however, you've got the black area and it's smooth to the touch, as in as smooth as glass, you're perfectly fine to use the sucker. This particular car's got the bobbly surface, so obviously we've used the sticky pad mount. Let's see if the actual thing powers up, which it should do. Pop the ignition on. And there we go, powers up. I don't know if you saw there, but in the corner, there's a little power symbol. It's got a lightning strike through it, battery. So although they've got battery backup, the lightning strike shows that this unit is being powered from the fuse box of the vehicle. Bear in mind when you turn your ignition off, it will take a few seconds or so for that to go off because these cars do stay live on the fuse box for a little tiny amount of time. If you've got this far, you can reassemble the corner of your dashboard. Nice and simple. So moving back down to the corner, we've gathered all our cabling up, put a cable tie around it. Obviously you put some electrical tape around it, makes no odds. And then just pop it in, out the way, tuck it down the side, out the way. It's already enough spaghetti down here, so nothing's going to rattle around, you know. Pop it out the way and then we'll clip the end panel back on. When clipping your end panel on, just be careful you don't catch the airbag switch cabling. Just tuck it in nicely and then just push. Click it on, bit of a tap there. Go around, put your fuse box cover back on. That just clicks in as well, nice and simple, like so. And that is how you fit a dashboard camera in a Peugeot 308. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer you. Thanks for watching, bye for now.